Hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome into this video. It's me, Deborah. Thank you for clicking onto the video, guys. If you guys know me and you've been here before, you expect me to say, hey, welcome to your weekly Love Tarot readings. No, this is a different kind of reading, guys. We are looking into energetic cords that are attached to you and other people. It can be events in your life as well, and even places. So somebody requested this video from me, and I was like, you know what? It's been requested so many times that I'm going to do this for you guys finally. So hi, by the way, thank you for emailing me. I'm contacting somebody out there about this video, and I really hope that this helps you. So guys, what is an energetic cord? An energetic cord is formed between us and another person when we have contact with them. In certain levels, there are energetic cords attached to us with almost everybody. I'm just saying, but there are different kinds, and sometimes the cords can get stronger and even bigger compared to just very like a light friendship. Cords get formed when different things happen. Sometimes positive events or positive things that arise between us and different people can form a cord, which is a good thing. Think of memories with your mom and dad. Think of connections with your brothers and sisters, or even your own child. You have an energetic cord to your child. Very positive thing, unless you're in a very destructive relationship with those people. Then you got a different ball game. Then it's complicated. Events can have that as well. We can have memories about our childhood. We can have a specific place that we're attached to energetically. You might find people that always get attracted to a specific place in the world, and they keep wanting to go back there again and again. It's because they have an energetic cord attached to that area. It's a positive thing, but this can also be negative, and this is where this video comes in. And if it is negative, this is where we have a problem. Energetic cord can be formed through a positive relationship that was once really good and it turned bad, and somebody either broke up with us or they got into an abusive situation with us, and now we have a negative cord attachment to them. It can also happen with family as well, and it can happen with places as well. Imagine if you were in a car accident. You would have an energetic cord attached to that moment, and you would have nightmares about it, and sort of like phobias that arise from that. That means you have an energetic cord attached to a specific event. Also, places is the same thing. Now, that's why you get people who are afraid to they don't like going to hospitals, maybe because they have a bad experience from being there. There's some kind of energetic cord attached to that event, you know what, to that place, that kind of place. So now, people talk about cord cutting. Anything else I want to say? Oh yes, there's one thing I must tell you guys. We're living in the modern society, right? So we have long distance romances. One thing I want to bring into here, because I don't think people understand. Most people will associate energetic cords to being in a relationship with somebody. By the way, a one-night stand will develop an energetic cord on you as well. So if you're having every weekend a one-night stand, count all those energetic cords that are attached to you. Spread out like a spider web, okay? Just keep that in mind. Be very careful what you do with your energy. And online relationship, you've never met a person, you don't know them, but you got a relationship with them, whatever that may be and however that may be. There is no contact between you. So is there an energetic cord? Yes, because on a soul level, our souls are connecting. It doesn't have to just be body to body. This is an energetic cord, and our souls are energetic. When we come into contact with each other, how did you fall in love with them in the first place? If there is no real thing happening, you wouldn't have fallen in love, and that means an energetic cord has formed. Now that can go bad, it can go good, as any relationship can. Now, first of all, there's one thing I want to tell you guys with regards to cord cutting. There's a way that you have to think about this. We are not supposed to be cutting cords, guys. You need to understand something. When you cut a cord, it shouldn't be called cord cutting. It should be called cord removing, not cord cutting. Think about the plants that I have here. If I cut this plant off right there, yes, I've broken the life, but remember there are roots in this pot, and the chances of it regrowing is pretty strong, as long as I keep watering it. Of course, with you, you're alive, so your energy is watering it. You understand what I'm saying? So now this is the thing, guys. You need to understand that you need to remove cords, not cut them. This whole thing of people going, I'm cutting this cord. No, you need to remove it from you. That is how you truly remove. That is another reason why people say it keeps coming back again and the problem is not leaving me. It's because you really need to get to the root of the problem. Another thing that needs to happen, I'm going to tell you guys some things that you can do, because I am a head rich, guys. If you check my other videos out, you'll see I do work with the elements. So I work with spirit of fire, spirit of earth, spirit of air, and spirit of water energy, and also the spirit of spirit energy as well. I use those elements to do this work, and you can actually take whatever suits with you, whatever you're most attracted to, and work from there. Now, one thing you need to know before you even remove a cord out of you, understand what is going on here. If I have got a cord attached to Bob, I don't have a cord attached to Bob. I don't know Bob. I'm just letting you know. Okay, that means it's like, think of it like electrical wire, because I'm looking at wires attached to my stuff here. It's moving energy up and down to make things work. I'm attached to that person, and events that happen in my life, there's a cord attached, is going to affect Bob. And events that happen in Bob's life is going to affect me. So I'm creating blockages. If Bob is having a real bad time, it can actually rub off on me because of the cord that is attached. And that is one of the main reasons why we need to cut cords. And it's not to make us stop thinking about them, because it's the actual cord that makes us think about them, not the cord cutting that you want to stop thinking about them. The cord needs to be removed, and that will automatically just happen on its own. The real reason to remove a cord is because of the attachment that we have. So before you do any exercises, I advise you to start out whatever you're going to do by literally pulling your energy back from Bob. Bob is attached to you. Your energy is inside of Bob. It's almost like you've taken a piece of your soul and they've gone with it. And a piece of your soul is in them, but a piece of their soul is within you. Yes, that's why you're removing it. But now don't forget to get yours back before you do it, guys. So what happens is, before you do any exercise, any kind of ritual, any kind of thing, you are literally going to ask spirit. You see, we work with our spirit guides as well. Please return my energy back to me through this cord from Bob. I pull it back into me so that I can be whole. Do not forget this. If you don't start out doing this, things are not going to go well. You're going to have some issues later on down the road. This is the starting point. Now, how do you know you have one? How do you know you have a cord attachment? Couple of signs. A, obvious one, you cannot stop thinking about this person, the event, or the place. It almost becomes like a obsession kind of feeling. You start to replay things in your mind. So if you find yourself, you don't think about them at all, and just before you go to bed, you got a 9 of Swords moment, you know what I mean? You go to bed and you start activating your brain, and you go back to 1987, you know what I mean? Or wherever, and you start thinking about the person, and you start thinking, you're replaying the events in your mind. But what you end up doing is, as well, you start to adjust it, and you even role play in your own mind about what you should have said and what you could have done. Maybe if you did this, it could have been different. Maybe if you did that, it would never have happened. That is a sign of a cord attachment. Dreams is a sign of a cord attachment. Another thing as well, when you actually have a hatred for somebody, or even a specific place, or a specific group of people, or a specific type of thing. It's like maybe you had a bad experience, say in a motor vehicle accident, and the car that plowed into you was a sports car, and then all of a sudden from this moment you just hate sports cars. And it's not because and the drivers, you know what I mean? That means that you still have that cord attachment. A hatred is a sign, or like wanting revenge and being unable to forgive. You still have a cord attachment, because once the cord attachment gets broken, that all just dissolves and goes away. Another major sign as well, I think this is one that people skip, it's you keep attracting the same sort of events to yourself again and again. You leave Bob Okay, and all of a sudden here comes Peter, you know, who are these Bobs and Peters? I don't know. And here comes Peter, and you get into a relationship with Peter, and it's the exact same situation as with Bob. And you break up with Bob, and you end up going to Joe, you know, and if it's a guy, it's Susan, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing again. That is a cord attachment. It causes a repetitive cycle in your life. Now, guys, how would you remove this? First of all, be very sure you want to remove a cord as well, because there are certain events and things that are happening in your life that are meant to happen. I know that's very hard to understand, but there are lessons that we are meant to learn in life. Especially sometimes I feel it with regards to family more than with lovers and boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives and all those things, especially when it's associated with our children and our parents and all those things. Because the thing is here, we have to understand certain events take place when we are born to our mother and father. We are born to a specific parents so that we can experience life events. Sometimes they're very positive and sometimes they're extremely negative. There are certain things that we have to pass through, karmic events that we have to experience, and sometimes certain events that we are experiencing requires us literally to do nothing. And if you feel like something like it is happening with you, especially, I'm putting this out there, especially with regards to family, you may have a narcissistic parent, for instance. Sometimes the things that they've done to you, depending on the severity. I mean, if it's breaking your soul, you remove the cord. Then it's not helping you. But sometimes all you have to do is kind of create space between you and a person so that they don't energetically drain you, and sort of leave things to be, because events are unfolding. I always try to trust spirit guides sometimes when it comes to these kind of events. Distance yourself first and see how things unfold before you remove any cords, because lessons are being learned that we sometimes cannot understand. And I think especially with regards to family, rather consult somebody like a psychic or a tarot reader. Ask them first before you remove a cord. Ask spirit guides, is this something I should be doing? But I feel like with relationships, it's a little bit easier to do, because we get involved in many relationships in our life, and sometimes having a cord attached to a person who was not good for us is actually blocking the right person from getting to us, and you want to live the best life that you can. So guys, some easy ways to do this. I use earth, air, fire and water. Think of this as a root that is inside of you. So let's start with earth energy. We're going to go and we're going to look at what we can do using the earth energy. Nature, guys. First of all, things like crystals will help you, rose quartz will help you. What I like to do is any black crystal. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, I've got a hematite. I've been wearing this hematite. It helps me so much because I'm a hedge witch. So when I sleep, it's something very comfy. I can sleep in it. It literally, it's not the size that matters, guys. Okay, I'm just saying. Literally, being a hedge witch, I need to have some extra protection while I sleep, because I hedge witching. You can check, there's a video in my playlist as well for it. It literally means that you get exposed to a lot of spiritual beings in spiritual realm when you sleep. So this protects me. Any black crystal will help you with regards to cord removal. Now the thing is as well, once you remove a cord as well, you do need to put protection after that, because guess what? It's an ongoing thing. I also believe, honestly, that sometimes people go to people and have asked them remove a cord for me. But the thing is with me, I prefer sometimes that you guys learn these things on your own. I feel like there's a lot of information that has been lost over the past hundreds of years, where we knew how to do things and it was told that we were not supposed to do this. And we've lost basic understanding of spiritual things. And I think I'm still going to do a lot of videos for you guys about things that we've lost, and understanding about things, what we need to be doing with regards to certain events that happen in our life on a spiritual level. Now back to subject. Protection needs to happen after you cut the cord, because you can form new cords with the very same person, and you can also form new cords with new people as well. So always be aware. Keep this in mind, guys. Every single time you enter into a relationship with somebody, understand what it is you're doing. You're creating a new cord. So you don't want to spend the rest of your life having to recover from cords that have been recreated. Always be careful who you allow in. Just a little bit of a heads up over there. So earth energy, let's get into it. I love trees. I love plants. You can see I've got a lot of them growing all around me. That's one of the things you can do. One of the things I love the most, I'm going to tell you first because I love trees, is to literally use a tree. Go into a forest somewhere. If you don't have a forest, you've got a garden, whatever you can find. Even if it's not a very big tree. Trees are wisdom, guys. They are very old. Even if a tree is very young, it carries the collective wisdom of the trees that have lived for thousands of years. They are all energetically linked. So even a very young tree will be able to get information from a very old tree, literally hundreds of miles away, because of the root system that lies under the ground. These are wise beings, guys. Respect your trees, okay? You go sit under a tree. You first ask the tree, I know it may seem very airy-fairy, but respect the energy. You ask the tree, I've got this energetic cord I want to remove because it is not helping me in my life. Will you aid and assist me? You can be a tree hugger, guys. You can even touch the tree and just allow it to feel its energy. It will let you know I'm up for this, or it may even realize that it's not, maybe something's wrong with the tree. It may be not well, or it can have some kind of infestation that you don't know about, and it may reject that energy because it knows it cannot help you. Most trees will not. Most trees will always accept you in. You will feel until you get the right tree, and it will just be like, come sit down. And you sit with your back, as I'm sitting on my office chair. You sit with your back to the office tree. You sit straight on the ground. You don't put a cushion down. You don't put anything down. You take your hands, you put your hands onto the ground, and you sit there and you do a bit of a breathing exercise, you do meditation. That is in those moments, that's when you call your energy back to you. You literally ask your spirit guides to help you do this. It's so easy. People say, how do you talk to your spirit guides? As I'm talking to you. It'll be like, spirit guides, I'm removing this cord. Please call my energy back to me. Help and assist me to bring it back. Literally picture. You can do this now for everything. This is the first part I'm telling you. With whatever you are doing, if it's earth, air, fire, water, you're going to do the same thing to start. You literally picture this cord going out from your heart, from your soul, from your stomach. You might feel it from different places. You can feel it from your womb. You can feel it from your heart, your mind, your shoulders. Wherever you're feeling it attached, you'll feel it. You're just going to feel your body. You're going to know where it's attached. And picture it going up the road, down the corner, across the ocean, wherever it is going, and just you can do it very quickly to that person. And it's like a pipeline, you know what I mean? And you say, I call my energy back to me now. Come back now. And just picture your light coming out of that person, straight traveling down that pipeline, like an oil pipeline, straight back into you. And that is when you're making yourself whole. It is a meditation practice that you do. It's simple. It's not something like, you have to have a whole bunch of stuff happening. It's you, your soul, your mind, your spirit guides. When that is done, you then ask this tree and your spirit guides together to please remove the cord from you. Sometimes I feel like when we physically do something, you can even do that. I mean, you can even just picture yourself pulling it out of you. And when you do so, do not let it go. I'm just giving you hold it in your hand and put it down on the ground where the roots of the tree would be. And you ask this tree to take the cord out of your hand and take it into its roots and let it dissipate into Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is going to take that energy and actually heal it. I don't like to do things, people sometimes, I think I remember seeing something once where somebody said, no, you can use this energetic cord to even get revenge. And I was like, no, don't do this. You don't want to create a karmic cycle, guys. That's what we're all trying to avoid. We want to heal things. So this is one of the ways of doing it with earth. Another way that I kind of like is if people literally, there are certain countries, especially up where I live, I'm from South Africa, so they will literally bury you. Don't do this. Disclaimer, do not do it. They bury your whole body and literally just leave your face out and cover it with muslin or whatever, and the earth will literally pull the cords right out of you. Don't do this. I would not advise it, but you can do it to a certain level by burying your feet in the soil. If you feel like doing that kind of thing, dig a little hole, put your feet, you can even do it by the tree if you want to, put your feet in the ground and literally picture the earth pulling that cord through the soles of your feet deep into the earth and out of you. That's another amazing way. You can even do it with your hands as well. You can literally do this entire exercise by the tree. But if you don't have a tree, you can even just do that. Put your hands and feet into the soil and just remove it. Just feel the pull of the earth. I promise you, you're even going to feel something happening in the palms of your hand, and you're going to feel this pull coming out of you. It is an extremely healing process. Water, another one of my favorite ways of doing things. If you live near the ocean, good for you. If you live near a lake that you can swim in, or a river. Where I live, you do not swim in lakes and rivers unless it is so approved, because apparently there's crocodiles around my city. They've been finding crocodiles and hippos around the place. So in South Africa, inquire first. But if you can get into the ocean, if you do have access to a safe place where it's a natural water running, you can do that. All you literally need, guys, is a shower. Even a bath will do. When you get into the bath, you stand under the shower, you do the very same practice of calling your energy back to you. And then you literally ask the water, spirit of water and my spirit guides, as this water pours over me, it will pull. And as the shower is falling, you can literally aid in pulling it out. I always believe in doing something physical. Just picture it coming out of you. And as that water runs away, it's not only cleansing you, but it's also removing the cord back to where it's meant to be, Mother Earth all over again. If you do this, it's easy in a shower. You can do it as many times as you want. I prefer not to do the cutting thing. I prefer to do the pulling thing. That's because I feel like it's like the root will remain. If you want to do it in the bath water, you can do it in bath water as well. Remove it. Just try to make a chance to rinse yourself after that as well. Don't just get out of the bath and pour the water. Once the water is gone, you then rinse yourself. I have actually done this for myself. I did it in a bath as well. And let me tell you, I cried in that bath. And let the tears go with that water. It is a very healing process to do. And you can do this as many times as you want. Magic of water, guys. This is an extremely powerful thing. You can also take a glass of water. If you don't want to do the whole shower thing, take a glass of water and speak to your water. By the way, you can do this to manifest as well. You can literally speak the words love into your water, self-love, soulmate, and then drink it. And literally, water is extremely powerful. It holds information. You can speak into a glass of water. Rather make it natural water, like borehole water or something very natural, not something that's been chemically altered, and speak into the water. Even if you have to sit and have a conversation with spirit of water, because that's what you are doing, and you do the same exercise, of course, calling your energy back. Speak into this water and tell it to take the cord out of you. You can even take the cord into, like physically put it into that glass of water. Say everything that you've experienced, what has happened, your feelings, your tears, your emotions into that glass. And once again, outside, pour it into the ground and ask it to be released from you. That's another way of doing it. Now, fire, which is very interesting. Fire energy, there is a way of doing a cord cutting that involves taking a knife and putting it into fire and then cutting cords from you. But I don't like, once again, I don't like the idea of cutting. It's just not it's not a healing thing. It's like having a thorn in your finger and you cut the top off. You need to remove what is inside. So I would say do not cut if you're going to do that, because you can just sit by the fire, and a candle flame is even fine. Take a knife, be careful, it's a sharp object, obviously, and don't cut, but rather like sort of scrape it away, almost like if people were scraping leather, you know what I mean. They have to scrape it back and forth like this to make it soft, and they are removing whatever needs to be removed. Think of it in that way. So you can take that knife, it's warm from the fire, and use this energy. I would rather use a flowing motion, because it's going to remove what is there. You can do that as well. Another nice way of doing it, guys, is literally writing. Pen and paper, you write, you say everything. You relive that event on that paper. You let your tears fall onto that paper, and you go to Spirit of Fire and you literally call back your energy as usual. You always call back your energy before you start anything, please remember. And you burn that paper. And you allow the fire to heal, to remove, to destroy the cord. And it's doing exactly what the earth is doing, to take it out, destroy it, and transmute it into a positive energy. Always ask for it to be moved into positivity. And the smoke that rises is the cord that is being burned. Okay, so now air. So we've done earth, we've done air. No, we haven't done air. We've done earth, fire, and water. Air is fun, guys. Air is fun. If you're a storm witch out there, oh, you're gonna know about this one. So air, it's got to be on a windy day. Can't be on one of those days where it's like very there's no breeze or anything. I prefer the windier the better. So if you're living in a place that's very windy, this would work for you. Try to go to somewhere that's a bit high. I kind of like that energy of when you can stand above on like a hilltop, or even if you can get access to like a mountaintop, if you can get there safely, you can go hiking. You literally stand and you face that wind and you call Spirit of Air. And you know, sometimes we can do this when it's a bit of a storm coming, but be safe, guys. Watch out for lightning. I don't know where you come from, but my city, lightning is scary where we are. So be very safe. If you are going to go do it in a storm, make sure it's not a lightning storm. Be safe. So you face the wind, and you know when the wind gets you and it's just pulling your hair and your hair's going, that's what you're looking for. That is what you're looking for. Even if you can do this and it's raining, you can literally use Spirit of Air and Spirit of Water to do the same, and just go out in the rain and just let it get you, you know, and you ask the air to pull the cord out of you, to literally help you and aid you. And as the wind hits, you can just be pulling the cord right out of you and you release it, like physically just throw it, and that wind just takes it and goes with it. And the same thing happens again. It gets released into the atmosphere and it just gets healed and transmuted. And that is what you are aiming to do, guys. It is very powerful. Another thing to do with air as well involves our lungs. Literally, if you can do this, oh, I would love to do this. I tell you, you got to go to a place where people are going to think you're not dying, you know what I mean? So you would go to like a forest, and you would then be using even Spirit of Earth as well, because of the trees being there. You would literally speak into that emptiness, everything that has happened to you. And at the end of it, you will pull out the cord and you just put out a scream. You're just like, yeah, this. You can just scream it as loud as you can. If you do that, it's going into Spirit of Air, and even the trees around you are going to aid you in doing that. But don't do that like if people are going to be calling the police and thinking someone is in trouble. Okay, then you're going to say, no, Deborah on YouTube told me to do it. But there we go, guys. Is there anything else that we can say? Because I read tarot cards, I'm going to ask Spirit Guides to have the last say here in this reading. Spirit Guides, I want to ask for my people out there watching, guys, this is something you can do many times as well. So what does Spirit Guide have to say with regards to cord cutting? Yeah, you got to get the answers you need. It's so interesting that they bring up the Knight of Wands energy. They're asking, cord cutting involves understanding what you're doing. They're asking you to get all the answers that you need. Get the answers that you need, because when you are in Knight of Wands energy, you lost. You're a little bit lost here. You haven't found your way. Just going to do a few cards quickly, and you need answers. So this is a way of getting answers and to find out who you really are as well. And it comes up after heartbreak. Those are the swords you want to remove. Those are the cords that go through your heart. So let's see what our Spirit Guide has got to say with regards to cord cutting, just for the fun of it. Happens in romantic relationships when they don't go well. No kidding. And what else? There's a card sticking out that's getting my attention. It is a new way to start your life over, with the Sun card being there. Wow, guys, if you hear noises in the background, it's because there's people. There's people just came into my property, but I know them. It's not like they're strangers. I don't need to cut cords, don't worry. So yeah, this is it. If you do this kind of thing, the way to do it is to find out how to do it, which you are currently doing. It removes pain that you've suffered. It removes people stop them from coming back and stop you from wanting to be with somebody that does not want to be with you also as well. That's also another reason why you would have to do a cord. If you're in love with somebody and somebody has like literally left you and they were somebody else, that would totally break your heart. You have to remove that cord, and in doing so you get a new beginning and a different way of being. But there we go, guys. Thank you for coming into the video. If there's any subject you want me to talk about, just email me or comment below, and we will go into those subjects. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for coming in. I'm wishing you all the best. If there's anything you want to say about cord cutting, comment below. Let's have a conversation. Thanks for watching. Bye.